Crypto. We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. So, yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. Now I forgot the whole intro. It took that much concentration for me to try to not yell into the microphone. So it may be hurting people's ears at the beginning of the show. That was what I got from yesterday. So, welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name, of course, is Ben. This is one of our new merch shirts that's not for sale yet.
It will be soon.
You don't
Coming
like this?
soon. Exclusive original Team Bitcoin jersey.
Just sit tight.
You gonna model it for us? We need some walk-in music. Blue Steel. Where's the back? Bitcoiner 21.
There
There
like
you go. They said finally a real shirt. Yeah, the merch we're gonna be rolling out. It's pretty fun.
Our merch is going to be way better than anybody else's merch. It is. We worked with the same company that did Kanye West's merch for Donda. It's really exciting stuff. So,
Speaking of, I did start watching that documentary last night.
It's long.
Very good. Yeah, it is long.
But it is good. Love the Kanye documentary. So, man, I guess the big news of the day, right? So I was watching the mainstream news last night. I don't often watch the mainstream news anymore. I used to really like to watch, I like Tucker. I like Tucker pretty good. Okay. I don't watch him regularly or anything like that, but definitely like some of his little clips. He's certainly a snarky one, for sure. But the point here is this. I don't really watch mainstream news anymore. It's all fake. It's all, phony baloney. So it was really interesting for me, like really taking in a lot of coverage last night, because basically we watched the State of the Union address, my wife and I, and then just left it on there while I was playing chess on my phone. While real countries are playing chess in real life here. But the interesting thing was, it seemed like last night there was like a big turning point in this like Russian-Ukraine saga here, where they were expecting like it's going to get much worse. I guess peace talks didn't work, and it's supposed to get a lot worse. They're saying they're going to start going after civilians, and the tone on the mainstream news was doom, 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 gloom. They kept saying this. One guy kept coming on and saying, do not be mistaken. Everybody's talking about how brave Ukraine is, and it's great. The people in Ukraine are certainly brave for staying and fighting and defending their homeland, but they're no match for Russia. That was what they kept, the tone of what they were saying, that this isn't a feel-good story of a rowdy upstart, trying to make a name for themselves in the boxing world. This is real life. This is war. And, if you just look at strict numbers, Russia certainly has the numbers, in Belarus supposedly about to start taking part in this as well. So the point is, a lot of big moving parts. We had the State of the Union address last night. A lot of stuff still going on with the Fed we're going to be talking about today. And Bitcoin, I mean, did you see it go over 45?
I did. I was watching it live. I was getting all excited, did a lap around the office, and about the time it took me to walk around the office to tell everybody Bitcoin was over 45, I got around to Frank, and he goes, yeah, it's back down to 44 too.
So basically this morning, I checked it, and it was at 43.3. And I was like, okay, we had a little dip. That's okay. It wasn't dramatic. And then I checked before I came in, and it was at 44.4 or 44.3. And I was like, oh, well, this is good. It went back. And I looked at the chart and I was like, oh, no, it actually went up $1,000 above that, went to 45,300. So that's, definitely bullish. I don't know what to do with this market still, guys. I'm still trying to figure it out right now. But, I think we all have more hope than we've had in at least the last couple of months. So
when's the next time BC Backer's coming back on? I know we have him slated, but a lot of people in the chat yesterday, and I was looking at some of his stuff last night with that fractal he was talking about, is pretty much playing out perfectly. The one we looked at a couple of weeks ago.
Let me see what last message I sent him, because we picked, I think, a tentative.
I thought you told me that.
Yeah, we picked, I think, a tentative thing. Let's see here. Where is his?
I know we have Gareth Soloway coming on, I think, tomorrow.
Yes, Gareth Soloway will be coming on tomorrow. This is weird. I don't see my messages with him for some. Here it is. Okay. So I think we looked Tuesday, March 8th on Tuesday.
Okay, perfect.
So I need to get with BJ and add that to the calendar. So it'll be next Tuesday. He should be coming on. So, okay. Thank you, BJ. Can you email him and make sure we get that set up? He's already like tentatively agreed. So yeah, it'd be crazy if we get this big altcoin season, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin would be going to all-time highs if that's the case. So
that's what's interesting is a lot of people are feeling bullish in the midterm now, but still long-term not ready to call us out of a bear trend. So it's even though we saw yesterday with Daniel, we're not really even technically in a bear trend. Like it's just a weird market right now.
It is a weird market. Look, we talk bear and bull market, but bull and bear markets are defined retroactively. They're actually the times of those markets are defined by people in the future that look back at the chart and are like, well, obviously this was a bull run and obviously this was a bear market. So, Crypto Vase in the chat, yo, big fan of Tron from what I hear.
Really?
Big fan of Tron. Yeah, we're gonna try to get him back, Crypto Vase back on, talk a little market cipher maybe next week or the week after. So, all right, I want to show you guys something here on our Instagrams. We are at 440,000 followers. I think it's actually more than that. It's a little concerning. It's taking so long to refresh here.
Your screen?
Yeah.
There it is. Wow.
There it goes. There it goes. Okay. Well, because the giveaway's on here, I had to show this.
Yeah.
So we're doing a giveaway along with an artist who created, do we have is it up here? Not up here. Created this statue. You guys know the big one that's out on our desk here for a while. It's not out here right now. But basically, we're going to run this contest for 3 days. All you have to do is follow BitBoy Crypto and Nick Penure Artist. Like and save the post, and then tag 2 people in the comments. Winner will be announced on Friday. You will win one of these 2 gold Bitcoin statues. They're really cool. They're heavy. They're actually really heavy because they're made of real stuff, real gold. So I don't know the details of the real gold. I don't know if it's a flake. I don't know anything about gold. I had to call Peter Schiff in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you got to do is go onto our Instagram, BitBoy_crypto, take part in this. We love for you guys to follow me. He's a great artist and get this going. So, oh, look at that. Whoa. Can you stop for a second? I've never won anything. Oh my gosh. I won the Bitcoiny.
You're gonna thank the
looks like an award. Here it is. Look at this. Nice shiny thing. Put it in perspective. We'll put it up here for the show.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, we got a big those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I like them. So you can win one of those. All you gotta do is go follow us on Instagram and go to that post. It is down on about the 3rd row there. So you guys make sure to do that. All right, looking at the markets. Let's see if that's the number from yesterday. We're up a little bit from yesterday. 1.94 trillion. We're at $100 billion in volume. 43.3% Bitcoin dominance continuing to rise. I mean, this makes sense based on, excuse me, I may choke to death here.
Uh-oh.
That makes sense based upon, the fact that people are moving out of fiat from whatever currency, rubles, and other stuff. So obviously price action has been good. So that's more, volume for Bitcoin. And, but there is a little bit of surprise there because, a lot of people are thinking, altcoin season is imminent. Yeah. I'll tell you this. I used to have big cojones, like really big ones. Like I would say what I thought, but now I'm not going to go out on a limb and say altcoin season's imminent. I don't have the cojones to say that. I don't have anything to base it on other than what crypto back or blockchain backer says.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice. I would take it. Bitcoin coming in at $44,349. Ethereum still hovering right at 3,000. Tether, look at this.
A lot of people really excited about Ethereum right now. For like, if that alt season comes, a lot of people feel like Ethereum's underpriced. Like it got hit harder, would rally really hard. I'm hearing that sentiment a lot.
Well, you start seeing the distance it really has above everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the numbers, guys. Like, just look at the numbers.
No, it was
just look at the size of these 2 market caps up here
Yeah.
compared to these.
Right. Nobody's yeah, and 2 of those are stable coins.
Exactly. Yeah.
You pull Tether
120
and US.
billion of that or so.
Yeah. There's a huge lead for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah. All right. And remember this, actually, Ethereum is much closer to Bitcoin percentage wise than anything else is to Ethereum.
Exactly.
So the two of them have really, really separated. XRP down a shade at 77 cents. Terra Luna up 55% for the week. Wow. But what is its all-time high? Wasn't it like $200?
I don't Did it get that high?
Is Terra Luna one we're going to keep in our portfolio, you think?
Yeah. Oof.
No, it didn't get, no, it's almost all-time high now.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
It's
It's
like
at
100 and
$100, not 200. It went to 100. So, didn't have a lot of vested interest in the price of that one because we didn't have a holding in that until after the all-time high. So, all right, let's go on here. Let's actually check out the top gainers of the day real quick. Top gainers of the day. Boom. Render token.
yeah, I saw that.
I think somebody told me he had a prophecy, he had a dream. And in that dream, there was something called reindeer token. And there was actually a meme coin called reindeer token. And so based on some other guys, this guy told us some stuff that it happened. He said this was going to happen and it happened. So I said, we'll take a flyer on it. We'll put like $10,000 in it. I think all the money's gone. But render, maybe this is what he was dreaming of.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like reindeer.
Yeah.
Reindeer token. Maybe the prophecy will be fulfilled. Convex Finance, Thorchain, Phantom, all about 10% gainers. No massive pumps like we saw yesterday from UMA and Waves. But man, that Waves up 81% for the week. Did UMA fall out of the top 100? Is that why it's not on here? Let's go see if it's at the top. Page 2. Yes, that is true, TJ. Yeah, UMA fell down just a little bit. It's now up 72% for the week. It had 22% loss yesterday. So I tell you guys what, I've always said this. Look, we talked in our Building a Balanced Portfolio video about how you need to have proper diversification, different niches, different kinds of rankings of coins in your portfolio. If you're looking for great gems that are companies that have been around for a while or have big names behind them or big money that also have really high potential, that 100 to 150 spot on CoinMarketCap is a good place to go digging, because you're not taking the huge risk with a meme coin that's here today, gone tomorrow. But also, you look at these Wax, 1 inch, Raven coin, Rally token, Kava, a lot of really good prices. Zilliqa, ZRX, some of these are good projects that have been around for a while. Well, there's your meme coin.
Yeah, I would say outside of maybe a couple unicorn alts that we hit on, I've had the most success with finding things that were about 150 to 200 before they made that big push into the top 25, like Solana, Cosmos, a lot of those kind of layer ones that I got into. Polygon. Ethereum and ADA also did really well for me. They were in the top longer, but a lot Avalanche.
They were never outside the top 10.
That's what I'm saying. They were always up there. But
Cardano's fallen out a couple times. But
you can make good money without going with micro caps, I think is the lesson there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look, if you want to get in, you have to understand, like, if you want to do like the crypto banner thing, or crypto canter, as I called him yesterday. We should get Rain on the show. But I think if you're gonna like really be a degen and you're gonna get into like every 100x altcoin that exists out there, and like that's really where you're at in your crypto journey, that's where you want to be, that's like a full-time job. Doing the research for those coins and knowing how to time them to get into them and out of them is a skill. We talked about being a crypto expert last night and how you find a niche. Maybe your niche is being a degen. There certainly are people out there there are people out there whose niche are using gambling dApps to stake coins and earn returns and passive income. I think they're still doing that. They were doing that a lot with the Tron dApps in the beginning. I know people were making like killer returns for staking the gambling tokens and stuff like that. I don't even know if they're still doing that stuff, but
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of ways to make money in crypto. There's so many different ways. And I feel like I constantly get asked when you're explaining to somebody like, oh, well, why can't you just buy $100 or $500 of every single coin and then eventually you'll hit, right? Like, isn't that a good strategy? And in theory, yes, it is. But like he just mentioned, good luck trying to buy every single altcoin that comes out. Like, that is more than a full-time job.
Some of these coins that people make money on never even hit coin market cap,
Right.
you know? So, all right, let's move on here. Let's bring on Frank. Come on, Frankie Candles.
Yeah.
Let's do your thing here, bud.
Check out some Bitcoin charts.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great Wednesday. We got a bunch of stuff to look at here. As usual, we're gonna start. I'm gonna start off and just show the longer time frames first, and then we got some bearish stuff. We got some bullish stuff. Definitely feeling a bit more bullish for the short term than I have been the past few days or weeks. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. And we will start off on the weekly for Bitcoin.
And then make sure you pull that chart over there. The browser window.
The
Yeah, over here.
Yeah, help me out.
That'll help you. There you go.
Thanks,
You're back.
Dad. I hope so. Last time it took years for him to come back. Anyway, starting on the weekly for Bitcoin. So yeah, I do just want to start with this, right? Because we talked about this the past few streams that I've come on. Now, the weekly looks still pretty ugly, but however, it is starting to look a little bit better. We do have the VWAP crossing back over the 0 line, printing a green dot, which could bring us up quite a bit. Kind of what I'm hoping for. But just overall, we do have money flow pretty aggressively coming out pretty close to the 0 line. So just keep that in mind, right? But as we move down to the lower long-term time frames here, we're printing a lot of green dots on the higher time frames. 3-day, we printed a green dot right here. As you can see, we are starting to come up. And then if you come down to the 2-day, right, green dot again. So this is typically very bullish when you see these green dots on the higher time frame. They can bring us up quite a bit. Now looking at the daily, right, you do have this nice, I'm gonna grab my brush. You have this nice curvature on the money flow, right? Starting to come down a little bit. VWAP is over the 0 line, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But just generally, this money flow is coming up. If we get a money flow crossover on the daily, that could be pretty big. Let's come over. What was that? The 4-hour, I believe. Let me just resize that. Okay, yeah. So money flow crossover from the red into the green on the 4-hour. This is bullish. I think this can bring us up quite a bit. So like I said, like you want to keep an eye on the longer, the weekly chart. Obviously, not looking too good. However, with that weekly VWAP coming up, it is looking a little bit better. And then all these green dots on the longer time frames, the 3-day, the 2-day, etc. This is bullish. I think this could bring us up at least in the short term. But we do like.
Can I ask you this, Frank?
Yes.
Do green dots work?
Yes. Well, so on my channel, I do like to preach that you don't want to just trade based off of one thing. Ideally, you would want confirmations, but hey, these green dots can play out pretty good, especially in a bull market.
Yeah. We talked about that on the channel once.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But yeah, so these green dots on the longer time frames are pretty good. Weekly looking a bit better than it has been. And yeah, this 4-hour money flow crossover could be pretty big. As far as where I think we could go from here, right? Let's come over to the daily. My lines did not update here. But I
Well,
do.
while you can try to fix those lines, I want to say, one thing that TJ and I were talking about yesterday that we noticed while Daniel was on was a lot of the stuff that he was saying was exactly what you had just said on the show the day before. Obviously, he had a lot more extensive charts and things he was showing.
Right.
We definitely appreciate him coming on. It was very valuable. I found it very interesting. But I thought that was really cool that a lot of the same price points you were talking about in action that you were mentioning, that's what they're telling the
Yes.
Discord people to do as well.
That is definitely exciting. It does it does seem that it is kind of reassuring, when you see other people kind of, everyone has their own like biases. Someone might lean more, that we're in a bear market. Some people might lean more towards the extended cycle theories. But it is nice to see, when you're out there and you see other people kind of have similar ideas. It kind of gives you, if I'm seeing this and five other people are seeing this, maybe it gives it a little more likely chance to play out, which is kind of what I'm hoping. So we do need to get above this box right here. This is a range at about 45.8. I can't see. I'm pretty far from the computer. But we basically need to break out of this box. And I do think with the green dots and the 4-hour money flow crossover that this could bring us up to this spider line right here at about 47, 48K. And, we'll probably see some resistance there as these spider lines, are very, very strong areas of support and resistance. Might see some a bounce off of that. But if we can flip 48, I'm going to start feeling pretty good. Now, I'm going to stick to my, I don't really make too many predictions. I don't really like to do that. I like to give both cases, a bear case.
You see when that works out badly for people.
But yes. But I'm going to try to, I'm kind of, I've said this a couple times. I'm going to kind of stick to my original thoughts where I do think that we could pump up to around between like 48 and maybe 52. Some people think 60, but I'm going to stick
a lot of people saying 57 in the chat.
57. Okay, yeah, it just in that area. Like if we can hit mid 50s, that's kind of where I'm looking to, looking for us to end up. And then when we get there, we'll take the new data and see, if it's an extended cycle, are we going to reject back down and go into the bear market? But we're going to have to let, a little more time play out to make a decision.
I mean, if we get back up to the high 50s, I mean, we got to be going back to all-time highs, right? You would think? Not necessarily.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we get into the high 50s, I'd feel a lot more bullish. But yeah, it's kind of hard to say. It's really this weekly that really makes me. Now, it's not impossible, right, for this money flow to actually curve back up.
It takes a lot for the money flow to change on the weekly.
Yes.
So that's a sign of like really strong direction when it's, going down like that. But
exactly.
Once again, we got a lot of uncertainty in the world going on right now, which could be playing into this. I believe that it is.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't, but I believe that it is. And, so maybe we'll see something we haven't seen.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can't rule out that fact. Like, I know a lot of people just do not subscribe to the extended cycle theory at all. They think it's totally bogus. I'm not one of those people. I don't think it's impossible to see new all-time highs. If we're going to see something we've never seen, there's no way to really predict that. So I would say I'm leaning the other way, but I definitely think it's possible that this cycle could be extended. So we're just going to have to let, some more time play out to see what happens.
Exact top for Bitcoin, exact date. Go.
$1.5 million in
2080.
February 30th.
February 30th. Valentine's Day.
The 3rd of February.
All right, guys. I think that's all I got. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel. Frankie Candles. Yeah, he's coming up. Oh, God, he's holding his tea. Bing bong. See you guys later.
Bing bong. I love it.
People are talking about you're taking my job.
Uh-oh. That's the
Yeah,
fastest chat. That's the fastest way to get somebody off
You
the
want to
show.
get Frankie off the channel?
Here. Watch this. You want to see something funny?
Yeah.
I got you. Go ahead.
How tall are you, Frank? 6 foot? Frank's 6 foot tall. People were asking. No, you're not. Guys, one thing that I did want to show you guys was the channel. That's right. I'll wait for TJ to sit back down. He's dancing. He dances in between takes here. Here on our channel on BitBoy Crypto on YouTube, you can scroll down to this awesome channel section here, and you can get access to Frankie Candles, BitBoy Bits. We just got this monetized. This is our new clip channel for very short form content. Hit Network, of course, behind the scenes, what we got going on with our building in our studio here. Meta Money, NFT Alpha. You guys make sure you're subscribed to all those channels if you aren't yet. And I will tell you, we have got some stuff going on here at BitBoy Crypto and Hit Network that is just insane.
We adjust
stuff, huge stuff you'll find more about as this year goes on. But, really excited. You're going to want to be following what we're doing. I now feel like pressure to stand tall. It's weird with my head halfway in the shop. Okay, let's move on. War. Is that a word you can say on YouTube?
I guess.
I think so.
I don't know.
Yes, so.
You got that margin, the
Mm,
you know,
sad.
my OCD. There you go. Oh, 1 micro inch more.
Really?
Yeah, there it
I'm gonna
is.
leave that alone. War coincides with Bitcoin's highest real volume since early December. This is just kind of some tidbits from around the markets as we finish this up. Investors are speculating that crypto will become increasingly important, apolitical, and trustless money in a time of escalating geographical uncertainty, conflict, capital controls. From Arcane Research. The real daily Bitcoin volume has spiked to levels not seen in 3 months. So this is good. People are actually trading. Is this retail starting to trickle back in? Possibly. Do you think that that's true at all?
That it's, I mean,
Do you think retail's
possibly
trickling back in a little bit?
trickling. Yeah.
Yeah. Stocks rise. Oil hits. What just happened there? Why did that refresh like that? Did you see it was one title and then I started reading it and went to another title?
That was weird.
And then there's not even a back button. It just updated. Dow jumps over 500 points as Fed's Powell talks rate hike. How much do you think that Jerome Powell, are these really his decisions to make? Or do you think that he could be overruled? For the other people that are on the board of the Fed?
I mean, I don't know the technicals of exactly how it works. I would imagine anything he says has been agreed. Like they come to an agreement before they make any major announcement. I don't think.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I mean, in the meeting, stuff we don't see, votes and stuff like that. I wonder if he really drives this bus.
I mean, I imagine it's just like any board or group. You have certain individuals in there that have more political capital than others, and you got everybody jockeying for position and trying to angle for their own interests. And certain people are better at it than others. And I think he's definitely got a lot of weight in that room.
Yeah, for sure. Bitcoin addresses hodling 1K plus Bitcoin spikes, or 1,000 or more Bitcoin spikes, but it isn't whales. So this is interesting. Kind of supports that. Retail may be moving back in, but that's 1K Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. It's saying they're not whales. It's not whale accumulation.
Wow,
look at
that
that
spike.
Wow. Oh,
Under 1,000. So
that's
non-whale address.
Russia, probably.
Yeah.
That's Russian
citizens.
banks and the banks there, probably.
That's people terrified about
Mhm.
how they're going to transact in the future because they just got
Well,
cut off.
but these are high level people. These are, I mean, you're not buying 1,000 Bitcoin. If
Isn't
you're
that
not
under
rich, right?
1,000?
No, it said 1,000 plus. Bitcoin addresses hodling 1,000 plus Bitcoin spikes,
Huh.
but it isn't whales. So it's not the traditional wallets that we know to be whales. Really
Wow.
interesting.
That's a lot of Bitcoin.
The uptick in addresses holding more than 1,000 Bitcoin as a result of the WBTC custodian moving reserves into a bunch of newly created addresses. Oh, okay. So this is what they're saying. They're saying that this is basically custodians moving it around and it's
Right.
creating new addresses. That's why I just don't believe the addresses are as strong of an indicator as a lot of other people do, because I think, whales can manipulate those addresses the same way they manipulate the price. So,
Well, and that's across all data, guys. You got to keep that in mind. You got to collect all the different indicators and make the best choice based on your gut and your perception of all that, because every single metric, volume, addresses, sale, number of wallet, all that stuff, transactions can all be changed to get a different result. So you have to make your own decisions.
Bitcoin paints a clear double bottom. And look at the ladies. They're holding their nice Bitcoin statues.
Yeah, they are.
Look
They
at
must
that.
have signed up for our giveaway.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about State of the Union. 5 takeaways from President Biden's State of the Union speech. A lot of people know him as Uncle Joe. A lot of people know him as Brandon. It is a great time to be named Brandon right now.
We have a Brandon here.
We do. I have a friend, Brandon, and he said that he works, he does medical stuff. So he's working in, I think, hospitals and stuff. I still don't know exactly what he does. Something with the machinery there, I think. But he said everybody that comes in is like, oh, Brandon, hey, let's go Brandon when they find out his name. So it's funny. A name can change very quickly what it means. Imagine if your name was Adolf. Back
Karen.
in the. So yeah, let's go these 5 takeaways here. I watched the entire thing last night.
Yeah, I did
Like
too.
I said earlier, it was excruciatingly painful
It
to
was.
feel like we're in a theater
Yeah.
in Greece in the year, I don't know what year Greece was popular.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
When was ancient Greece? The BC?
Uh,
Yeah, because it was before ancient Rome, which would have started probably like 800 BC, 400 BC.
Yep. 480 to
Oh.
323 BC.
That's right. I know my Greek history. But it
Yeah.
felt so political theater, like the standing up, the clapping. There's one time Chuck Schumer stands up and he's like, wait, nobody else stood up. Am I supposed to stand up? He looked over at everybody else.
He stood up too early.
He stood up too early, and then he sat down, and then the line came, and then they all stood and clapped.
Yeah.
And then, you got
He
Nancy
missed-
Pelosi back there looking like,
That was so creepy.
Oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
creepy.
That's what I couldn't get over. It was very cringe. Like, it was hard to watch.
So cringe.
And
You
it
watched
was-
it?
Yeah, I don't do anything
So cringe.
politics. I usually say I don't get entertained by watching the circus, so I don't usually watch it. Just seemed appropriate at this point in time. Obviously, it had a lot of reminders of State of the Union in 2020 when the pandemic was first hitting, and yeah, I had a lot of mixed feelings. It was sad to listen to them basically talk about destroying citizens in 2 major countries like it's a positive thing, and basically say we're gonna print. It was tough.
Oh, he said, God, what was that line he said? It was the dumbest thing I've heard come out of a president's mouth, which is saying a lot. He said something like, all we got to do is to fix the inflation is to just lower the costs of goods or whatever
Yeah.
it was. So he said something. It wasn't that. It was similar to that.
Yeah, it was like don't raise prices or reduce prices, raise
Somebody
wages. I don't
put it
know.
in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat. What is going on? We didn't criticize Trump's administration a lot because it's not a great, Trump wasn't a great subject to always talk about.
It's
Very controversial, not good for YouTube, not good for, different stuff. But
Look.
there wasn't, here's the thing, guys. There wasn't, outside of the pandemic, obviously, towards the end, there wasn't a huge crypto-centric world going on when he was the president. That has changed now.
Yeah.
So
that you heard him push through that infrastructure bill, push
Yeah.
through a lot of bills that are going to be spending. So either way, it's government as a whole. I don't want to get it twisted. It's not any one side. It's
No.
politicians in general. It was everybody. I tweeted, I wanted to, there was literally that scene from Billions, which I've been watching lately.
don't lower wages, lower costs.
Yeah. And
Just lower your costs. Easy. All you got to do is just say, hey, I'm going to buy this from you from business to business. Can I just get that for lower?
Right.
That'd be good.
basically, and what they mean is the government's going to pay off all those companies so you don't feel that cost, but we're still going to have massive inflation because we're going to print trillions of dollars. It's a joke.
Did not say anything about inflation. Like did not get into the disaster that it is. I mean, this is, could mark the rest of our lives in America. Obviously, if this inflation continues and it pops.
Basically, the government's a bunch of liars. That's what it comes down to.
In rare sight, members of both parties repeatedly applauded Ukraine comments. Look, I am definitely for Ukraine, definitely not pro-Russia in any sense of the word. Like some of this, it's all theater. Like, do you think these people are going home and they're actually like, they'll stand up in front of everybody clapping, but do you think they're really going home and like telling their families, like, I'm so heartbroken about what's going on in Ukraine right now. Let's all go change our icons to the Ukrainian flag right now. Like that stuff kind of drives me crazy a little bit. Like
I can't stand the double talk where they talk about how citizens shouldn't be a casualty of war, and then in the next sentence say, oh, by the way, we wiped out the economy of every Russian citizen, and they don't know how they're going to get their food. Like we've wiped out their currency. They're all confused and scared as a result of, it's just, you don't care about citizens. If you did, you wouldn't do that.
So it says here, Biden acknowledged inflation concerns while pushing economic agenda. He barely mentioned it. He said too many families are struggling to keep up with their bills. inflation is robbing them. That's your fault. All presidents, basically since Reagan, it's all their faults. Inflation is robbing them of gains they thought otherwise they would be able to feel. I get it. And then in the same breath, he's talking about a $15 minimum wage, a $15 minimum wage across the board, which means you're going, like, do you think places that already pay $15 an hour to their people are going to raise, their wage for other people? Is going to create kind of an odd floor. I'm all for more wages. I think definitely that's something that, needs to happen. But forcing some like random number out there because people like it and it sounds good. And then we've got inflation where money is already being devalued. Like, if you fix the inflation problem, you wouldn't have to raise the minimum wage that high. You would barely have to raise it. But the reason why the wages have gotten so out of control is because of the money printing. So
Yeah, that's what was getting me about it. I literally was like, maybe this is their plan. If we just print so much money, we can always point back and say we saved more money than the last. Like, oh, last guy saved $1 trillion. I can save $2 trillion if we print $10 trillion. So they can raise your minimum wage. They can raise wages. Just know it's not going to keep up with inflation. They're going to print way more. And we've seen it throughout history since the 70s. Ever since we came off the gold standard, the wages, we should pull that up real quick. The 1971, WTF that happened in 1971. There's a clear chart that shows the wages, how they've increased versus the value, economic production, and it's not even close.
It's so hard to find these charts.
Just scroll, you'll see one that's wages.
Real wages, real GDP.
Yeah,
here it is. Yeah, that's it, actually.
And so what they'll
look at the wages sideways. So now they just want to like dramatically double the minimum wage.
Well, they
overnight, but
what they want to do is that orange line give you a little bump. We'll give you a little piece. We'll pay you off, but all those other ones are going through the roof, and that's where the lies come in.
Space Jason here says, and this is 100% true, raising minimum wage is elitist way of crushing small business. Small businesses are who get hurt when you raise the wages.
100%.
McDonald's can afford it. Walmart can afford it. Your local barbecue place, they may not be able to afford it. If you're talking about doubling, I mean, what is minimum wage? Like $8 now, $8.50 or something.
It depends on where you live.
Moving it to $15. Yeah. Basically, imagine doubling your salary costs for a small business. So, even if it went up 50 or 60%. So, and it wouldn't happen overnight. I think it is a tiered plan to get there at a certain point. But what did I tell you? I told you guys. Now, I do have to say, there was a prediction that I made. There was a prediction I made that came true last night, which is I told you guys back in November, I think. Told you guys in November that the pandemic would, for all intents and purposes, be over in March.
Yep.
It would be over in March. The Omicron was the last thing. It's going to be the dominant variant. The president said, no, we can't say there may not be another variant. This thing is the flu at this point. It is the flu. It will be a seasonal sickness. We're going to deal with it. All of these mandates are going to go away. Maybe some places still require jabs and stuff like that. But last night, the messaging on the pandemic took a notable shift. He said, tonight, I can say we're moving forward safely to a more normal routine. He said it wasn't a matter of living alongside the sickness, but continuing to battle it, and said most Americans could now remove their masks and return to work.
Here, if I wanted to put the whole thing into like what I took out of it, what I heard going on, what I heard was them saying we're putting all of our force into controlling our enemies through the financial system, and which is what we've been using for a long time. We're not sure if that's going to work. And so we're going to start shifting from using money as a system control to testing. They were driving that home. You're going to get tested. We're going to put up stuff at the borders if you want to go in. So they're getting you used to being tested. They're not, and the test is always going to change, but you're going to have to pass their test, whatever it is, to do X, Y, and Z, because money is no longer the best way to control people. And I think it's going to be fear.
Somebody here says, why don't we just make the minimum wage increase according to inflation every year? Then we don't ever have to argue about it again. That's what we do with our people. We look at we do assessments and evaluations for our employees. You know, we look at standard raises for them based on inflation and the cost of living going up. That's what a good company that's on a good direction, a good trajectory, I believe they should do, especially the people that they value. Not every business is in that, you know, has the ability to do that, but your goal should never be to work for minimum wage permanently. You know, you should be trying to move up to a different place, and I'm sure most people watch the channel, you know, do that. So one of the big things, well, Elon Musk made some comments here about this. He said that, see what he said. Nobody is watching the State of the Union. Not true. I did. He later tweeted Tesla's creator of 50,000 US jobs, building electric vehicles, and is investing more. He felt a little, he ignored Tesla. He ignored Tesla. He didn't want to bring up Tesla during the State of the Union address. Poor little Elon got his feelings hurt.
Yeah, he didn't want to name. He clearly said, though, we're gonna give a bunch of money to pharmaceutical companies. We're gonna give a bunch of money to energy companies. Like, you don't have to name the specific companies. He is,
Yeah.
you know, but it's coming for sure.
I mean, to get so upset about getting left off a list. Now, when I was not included on the CoinTellEye top 100 crypto influencers list last week, I was very upset by that. But Elon Musk, why would you be upset that you don't get mentioned? I'm just kidding. I wasn't really upset by it. But, you know, I know the feeling he has. You know, he thought, hey, we've had a good year. You know, he's going into the State of the Union. He's going to probably say something that we did. And Elon Musk's all about attention, and he didn't get mentioned. So he got his feelings hurt. I guess Dogecoin isn't enough. Maybe he'll make a meme coin. Putin is temporarily banning foreigners from pulling money out of Russia. Here is one thing I did want to mention. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell sees rate hike this month as appropriate. So I want to tell you about something that I saw last night while I was watching mainstream news coverage. Charles Payne from Fox Business. Okay. I've been on his show before, talks about markets. He said last night in an interview, or, you know, as he was being an analyst, that for the first time he has heard rumors that they may actually be considering no rate raise, no rate hike this month. Federal chairman just came out. Jerome Powell said, still see it as appropriate, but that's right now. This is a quickly changing situation. If this turns into a larger conflict, or, you know, somehow like there's a cyber attack, who knows what could happen? But now they may be opening the door for that, which, you know, I expected them not to raise rates with all this craziness going on. Inflation's so bad that I guess their hands are tied. They feel like they have to, which they do, but they just have a history of not. So we'll have to see. That would be crazy if they don't raise rates.
That would be crazy.
The market would crush if that happens. You agree?
Yes.
Because a 0.5% rate is already, or increase is already priced in to the price of everything right now. So now when it actually happens, there'll probably be some action, but so that's big news. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about nifty news. Snoop Dogg and Gary Vee have 95 million in NFTs, Dolly Parton's Dollyverse, and more. We love Dolly Parton on the channel. Dolly Parton's a great lady. Popular K-pop singer Sunmi faced a backlash after launching NFTs. Valve CEO Gabe Newell has boldly praised NFT tech. Dolly Parton launched some Dollyverse NFTs. I want to see them. According to Dapp Radar, NFT portfolios belonging to iconic rapper Snoop Dogg and Gary Vee are worth a combined $95 million. Wow.
I think it's more than that.
It probably is way more than that. I mean, who knows how many of his own NFTs he owns?
Right.
You know, he probably doesn't want that out there. I mean, look, maybe he doesn't, but I would assume he probably does.
I think it's public wallet. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. And that goes for either one of them. Let's see. Vaynerchuk's wallet has 82 million of that. That guy's got so much money, man. Bored Ape Yacht Club. He has World of Women. Have you heard of this World of Women?
No.
Yahoo News, they are raising rates. 25 basis points announced today. They just announced this. This is new. Let me look. Let me go to Yahoo. They never put the right stories at the top. How am I searching on Yahoo? Fed raises rates 0.25%. Let's see. They just announced
Wall
that people-
Street Powell plans to
Why
see.
am I on Yahoo? Why am I searching on Yahoo? That's awful.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be using pre-search.
Powell plans to see quarter percentage point rate increase 1 hour ago.
Well,
But
this is
it
where
doesn't-
like I'm not 100% sure that.
Yeah, I don't.
No, this is not for sure yet, guys.
No, not at all.
They're still open. It's still appropriate to raise the interest rate by 25. Did they say bips or is it BPs? I think they say bips. I'm inclined to propose and support a 25 basis point rate hike. And the thing about this is that that's why I asked that question earlier. If this is his opinion, but there may be other people that are on the board there that are maybe more unsure. He's got to propose it. It's got to get voted on and accepted. And I think there's a lot of people that don't want to do this, because it's kind of like, putting off that one thing you never want to do, but you got to do it one day. The day that you do it, it sucks. And, that's where we're at right now. Like, you're going to have to do it at some point. Maybe not this week. Maybe not next week. Maybe wait a year. Let Bitcoin go to 100K. So, okay, that's basically the same story I was looking at earlier. So it has not actually been announced 100%. So, all right. World of Women. This is a project I'm seeing a lot around. I don't know much about it. I assume it's a world of women. Snoop Dogg is an avid collector, yada, yada. Just big stuff going on there. Track 2, Death Row Mixtape, Volume 1, Wake Up and Work Out. Snoop Dogg looking like with that thing on his head there, maybe a grandma. I don't know. It is an interesting headpiece there, Snoop Dogg. But Snoop Dogg definitely looked fresh at the Super Bowl. He looked good. He looked not like he's 50 years old. Wake Up and Work Out. This is the full song. What they've done here is they've paired this with it. I assume that's a Bored Ape, right?
I mean, not an act. Like, you're not going to get a Bored Ape for 0.1 ETH.
No. I would think that there's. Why do they have this as?
I think might be a
That's
partnership,
just the image,
collaboration.
like
the
the
image.
cover of the song. Yeah. Well, what I was thinking is, like, I wonder if you could take a Bored Ape and you could attach a song to it and make it a new NFT or something. I don't know. Maybe we have these brands of NFTs that have little spin-offs. That might be coming eventually.
Yeah.
Trump NFTs. We were talking about this earlier today, which, by the way, I was very critical of Trump and his comments on Bitcoin, for sure. Very critical of Steve Mnuchin on the way out, taking shots at Bitcoin.
I was going to say, look, they're all going to support the dollar. And we all know there's problems with the dollar.
We support crypto. So
Right.
I don't care what office or what party somebody's in. I sure did
Politician-
hate looking at that Sherrod Brown last night. I hate that.
Politicians are not your friend no matter what side they're on. Just remember that.
Trump NFTs Parlor offer rare collection of crypto Trumps.
Wow.
Trump NFTs are here, a self-proposed viewpoint neutral free speech social media platform announced it is reinventing the NFT token space. Oh, they're reinventing the whole space.
Wow.
They're doing it with a new platform, Deep Red Sky. Is this a conservative
Creepy sounding.
marketplace?
Deep Red Sky?
Deep Red Sky.
Sounds
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
I don't know, ominous.
Well, okay. Do you see what they've done here? What they've done here. We've actually been coming up with a name of something cool we're working on. So we've been doing a lot of name storming, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
What they did is they took OpenSea and they used that same idea of a descriptive word and a not a land formation. I don't know what you would call the sky, right? Like open sea, deep sky. That's what they did. That's how they came up with that. And then they put red in the middle because it's going to be conservative. I was in the meeting. I can tell you, I know exactly how this went. I wasn't actually in the meeting, but I'm positive that this started with them saying, okay, OpenSea, what can we do that's kind of like that? Or maybe Trump said it. So he'd be like, so what do we do? I've never done Trump. Well, actually, I did.
Yeah.
FUD
FUD
Trump.
Trump.
I dressed up like Donald Trump
Those-
and made some
Classic
classic
days.
BitBoy crypto videos from the early days.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think there were like a lot of wall jokes in there. I can't remember what I'm talking about. So there you go. You want some Trump NFTs? There they are. And here we go. Crypto influencers promoting NFT scams could face class action lawsuit after BitConnect case. And I think it's important for everyone to understand this. Okay. You can sue anyone for anything. You can sue anyone for anything. That doesn't mean it's going to stand up in court. That doesn't mean that, you got to have some merits or else it won't get past a certain place. But yeah, people can be sued. Anybody can be sued. That's a thing that happens. I've sued people, currently suing somebody. So that is a thing that occurs. I don't know why this is like breaking news, but the big thing is that, there was the BitConnect case where they said of lower court or an appeals court said that they could go after Trevon James, Crypto Nick, all those guys who were making Craig Grant, all those guys who were making videos at the time about BitConnect, which people were already warning was a Ponzi scheme, that they can go after them in a class action lawsuit. That was what this, rallies around here or relies on. But the fact is, like, anybody can be sued for anything. I can go to some of y'all in the chat and sue y'all for stuff you said in here. You want to make fun of green dots? I saw it. I saw somebody that said, "Oh, when Frank said green dot, Ben made the O face." I saw that comment. I'll sue you
Well,
for that.
you did make that face.
Was it on the screen?
No.
Oh.
But he was right.
So, anyways, but I think that there's a really murky world in the NFT, zone of crypto. TikTok influencers who, are talking about this NFT, that NFT, and a lot of very clearly. It's hard to say for sure when something is an ad if it's undisclosed. We, of course, when we did ads, never did undisclosed one time. But I know what it looks like when it's done. I know what it looks like because I know the way projects talk to you and say, "Oh, we sure would love for you not to say this is sponsored." And so this is how you need to say it. I see those people on TikTok that do that stuff. Not a lot of people on YouTube really doing that I know of right now. There were tons of people doing it 2018, 2019, and 2017. But what I would tell you is that, you got to be careful when you're promoting stuff for sure, especially in a world of, rug pulls and degens and things like that. I mean, sometimes you learn those lessons the hard way. But the fact is, if you are making crypto content, you have to understand that you are in a cutting edge area of content and technology, and we don't have regulation. We don't have regulation. It is illegal to run a Ponzi scheme for sure, and it is also illegal to sell securities, which they declared BitConnect was a security because it was an investment contract. That was the whole idea. You give them money, you give them Bitcoin, they trade that Bitcoin for you and give you returns. It's like every impersonator scam on Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram. So everybody knew the BitConnect was a scam at the end. Really, where a lot of these guys get their feet held to the fire is I know because I have a source who knows one of those people very well and said that he admitted in a hearing, one of these people, that he knew it was a scam and kept promoting it. So his lawyer didn't like him saying that for sure. But if you knew something was a scam and you were continuing to promote it to people, like, to me, that's where you need to be held accountable for 100%. If you look at people like, I know, Blockchain Boy, we don't talk about him too much on the channel anymore, but he did promoted an NFT. I don't know if it was paid, and then it rug pulled and everybody lost all their money. That's going to happen sometimes. That doesn't mean that he knew about that. Doesn't mean that he thought it was going to be a scam. If he knew it was going to be a scam, that'd be a gigantic problem, right? And so I think a lot of this stuff for people that are getting into this world, you just got to be careful and really know what you're doing, but it's all developing and we don't have regulation for this. So, they talk about the fractionalized NFTs. We have no regulation on that. One commissioner said one sentence about it one time. So, all right, Bitcoin layer 3. What is the impervious browser? That's a nice name.
Yeah, it is.
I don't see any holes in it. When can we expect it? The impervious browser is upon us. The company will launch its most ambitious product at the Bitcoin 2022 conference. We will be there in Miami on April 7th. What is it, though? Do you think the Maxis will be mad that all of the people come and talk to me at their conference? I think they were last year, so we'll see. There's not that many Maxis actually at the Bitcoin conference.
That was interesting.
It was. We had a circle around us for like 3 hours. What is it, though? And while you're at it, what does Impervious do? Well, the company builds tools and infrastructure for the P2P internet. That is the internet without centralized intermediaries. The company works over the Lightning Network. On Bitcoin's third layer. It's the third eye of Bitcoin. They already released a bundle of APIs, which created a programmatic layer for Bitcoin. On that third layer, the Impervious browser lives. The latest edition of their newsletter, the company described what can we expect from it, and Bitcoinist is here to summarize it because we know how busy you are. Well, thank you. It is a portal to the P2P internet, kind of really what Web3 is meant to be. Zoom without Zoom, Google Docs without Google, Medium without Medium, WhatsApp without WhatsApp, payments without banks, identity without the state, all without centralized intermediaries. Wow, that's, you know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Oh, Max Kaiser wouldn't want any of this. Let's see, I'll talk about a boxing match. Max Kaiser wouldn't want this. No. He might just scream and do something crazy and look nuts, and I might get scared and run out of the ring. This reminds me of America Online. AOL, what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's a dashboard, and you look over here, you've got search. I wish I could zoom in on it even more. Oh, I can. You have search, chat, live docs, content creation, monetize, upload files, content monetization, 4,500. Over here, it's different people that they're interested in. The Beast, Dr. Disrespect. Who is the Beast? No, Mr. Beast.
It's probably supposed to be Mr. Beast.
You remember America Online when we thought it was the internet? Were you too young for that?
Yes.
Yes. You were coming in when AOL Instant Messenger was popular. AIM was popular. Correct. Okay, so when AOL first came out and like they were handing out the discs and you had the modem and the whole 9 yards, you would log into America Online, and if you were a kid, like you thought America Online was the internet. I've talked about this, before on the channel. It was crazy because I didn't know you typed in addresses. I didn't know the websites existed out there. All I knew is I would go to the platform and I would click on chat. I'd go do chat with other people my age. I would go do go to the sports and look at the sports section. I'd go to the video game section. I was a little nerdier back then, but it's almost like this Bitcoin Layer 3. It would be like a Web3 version of America Online in a way. It's like that's where you do everything. You don't have to go to all these different places because they're all centralized. And we kick them all out and say, let's take what's good. How hard is it to create shareable documents? We don't need Google for us to do that, right? Think about that for a second. Like, we're using Google for all of our document sharing. I don't know. It seems a little weird, but you just take it for face value because they came up with the idea. They weren't the first people to do it, but they're the most popular right now. So I don't know. That sounds cool. I don't get excited about a lot of stuff about Bitcoin. I'll be honest with you. I'm excited about this shirt.
Yeah. No, this is cool. This is definitely a big step in the right direction. It's what they're going to need to move us forward. It's just going to be interesting to see what functionality is like. It's not open right now. I just, while you were talking about it, put us on the list for early access.
Oh. Can you get it? You can get it on the list? I heard it was impervious. I know slots available. Okay. Yeah. That would be like a cool video to do. Consensys faces multi-billion-dollar audit over alleged financial irregularities. I don't know. This caught my attention for sure when we were talking about the content this morning for the live stream. Consensys is a big company. Consensys, founded by Joseph Lubin, right?
I believe.
Joseph Lubin and one of the creators of Ethereum, one of the co-founders of Ethereum. He stepped away from that, and Consensys is, what he created. Consensys is MetaMask. MetaMask is created by Consensys, right?
Yes.
I don't know exactly how that relationship works, but basically, because MetaMask doesn't make any money, I think maybe a slight amount on the newer feature where you can swap in the app.
Swapping. Yep.
They didn't do it to make money. They built MetaMask to push crypto forward. So pretty interesting stuff if you really get into all that. But I like Consensys. I've got nothing against Joseph Lubin. I don't look when you're talking about these high level people that are involved in investments and venture capitalists, things and institutional buying and there's always some sketchiness. So I'm sure there's something sketchy going on in Consensys, something that a lot of people, they might be surprised about, but I've never heard anything. This is the first I've ever heard of, somebody, wanting to go after them for something. So this is not a company I throw under the bus. I think they're actually good for crypto. I would never put them in the same breath of, companies like Digital Currency Group. So, but
Exactly.
does Digital Currency Group have?
Who knows? Let's look.
Let's look.
I would imagine they do.
It will not surprise me
Yeah.
a single bit.
I mean, if I'm part of Digital Currency Group, I'd want to invest in Consensys.
Oh, who portfolio? Let's see. Alphabetical should be at the top. No.
Nope. Interesting.
Live free or die hard. I choose live free. Coinbase, CoinDesk. They own CoinDesk completely. But that's another, maybe we do a Big special on that one day.
Yeah.
All right. So anyways, 35 former Consensys workers representing 50% of the company's own shareholders made a request for an audit. So it's the shareholders of the company. I guess it's a public company. It doesn't have to be a public company to have shareholders, though.
It doesn't have to be publicly traded.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, right. Like Chick-fil-A, I learned, is a private public company. The special audit is pursuant to yada, 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 Swiss Code of Obligations, according to the funds. Blah, 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 blah. JP Morgan acquired an influential stake. A year after the event, they were able to raise. So CSI is the name of Consensys, the actual name. Given Joseph Lubin is the biggest shareholder, the complainants claim he gained personal benefit at the expense of CAG's minority shareholders. So they raised $3 billion in funding, and now they're doing a $7 billion. Oh, man. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. If you're going into a company like Consensys and you're like going to be a shareholder and you're going to complain about the money that the people at the top are making when they're trying to push the company forward, reminds me of the guy that bought Ripple at an all-time high and sued Ripple because it went down. One idiot. Yeah, I think this is going to be, here it is, specialized in creation of DeFi apps, MetaMask and Fura, which I believe is like a Ethereum. It's hard to explain. It has something to do with the bandwidth and, making sure sites stay up and stuff like that. That are on.
Quorum's huge too.
Quorum. What do they do again?
That's like the private blockchain, like JP Morgan work. That's the involvement with JP Morgan,
that's right. Yeah,
IBM, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
A lot of development
Truffle.
there. Don't know much about truffle.
I had truffle fries one time, and I thought they were going to be like a dessert. Because truffle sounds like very chocolatey or something, but they're like weeds or something on it. I don't know.
Did you do the dance afterwards?
The truffle shuffle?
Yeah.
I knew a guy I went to high school with that was overweight, and he would do this thing where he would pull up his shirt and go, I'm doing the truffle shuffle, I'm doing the truffle shuffle. And people would just make him do it over and over and over again. I don't know, maybe enjoy the attention, but probably was not. Probably was a lot of bullying going on back then. That's all I know about the truffle shuffle.
Yeah.
Richie, good guy. At least back in high school. I don't know now. Barcelona looking to create standalone crypto as club fan tokens market cap drops. I said that so weird. Barcelona looking to create standalone cryptocurrency as club fan token market cap drops. Barcelona rejected possible partnerships with Polkadot and Binance because it wanted to create its own digital asset. That's pretty interesting.
Ballsy.
FC Barcelona has revealed its plans to develop a new crypto to boost its finances. Barcelona wants to create its own crypto. Oh, this is not the soccer team, or is it?
I think it's the city.
FC. No, it is the soccer team. It's so confusing because like you see the word Barcelona and you think the city. But I guess if you're into soccer, like it's so popular, it's like saying the Yankees or something. Okay. The token is Barca's way of securing funding and competing with other clubs. Yeah, this would be really interesting. And I tell you, we're having a lot of talks with different colleges and representatives of agents from college athletes, of universities, all kinds of stuff for several different things that we're doing. And, I can tell you that the world of NFTs when it comes to college sports is going to be massive. This is going to be maybe the biggest recruiting tool that these colleges are going to have in the future. Upcoming recruits, big names, they're already asking the colleges they're considering, how are you going to do an NFT for me? That's like part of the negotiations at this point to pick your college. That's how popular this is and how the NIL, the timing for NIL is just absolutely perfect. Very interesting to see how involvement with crypto, with professional sports teams could, we had some players have taken their salary in crypto, but that's never on the team side. I think that's always done kind of through an intermediary. Spencer Dinwiddie did it, obviously Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers and Odell did it, but they did it as part of a cash app giveaway promotion. So like, yeah, they got $1 million in Bitcoin, but it's not like, Aaron Rodgers has grown on me a little bit this year, but I would say it's not like Aaron Rodgers is like super pro Bitcoin or something like that. And he did it for that reason.
I know Tom Brady and Steph Curry going into it with FTX got a lot of people's attention.
Yeah. Well, Tom Brady, I do believe, is in crypto. And now that he's not doing football, I think he'll have a lot more time. I think he's going to be a person in this space.
I
think similar to Snoop Dogg in a sense. So very interesting to see what's going to happen here. The crypto fan tokens market cap decline. Several have launched their fan tokens and a lot of them have dropped in value. Obviously, market is down. So because of that, I mean, the market's up today, but over the last several months, market is down. And so like, that's the thing about people that don't really understand crypto. They may read this story if they're a fan of the team and be like, oh, I would never put money in these fan tokens because, I mean, you see these people, they put the money in it and then it dropped. And I don't know how they're doing ownership of, what you get access to the team with or whatever. But you got to understand the market in general has been going down. So that doesn't necessarily mean that those will continue to go down when market comes back up. They may come roaring, and I have a feeling that they will. Raoul Powell says he believes community tokens are the future for next year. UK regulator bans FLOKI NU ads as irresponsible. Is this the one we saw? FLOKI NU was the one we saw in the. You didn't go to California with us.
I did not.
There was a bus in Santa Monica. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen this tactic, not for FLOKI NU, but I've seen
it in Vegas with lit up vans, or trucks. But FLOKI NU was on a bus, I think it's a city bus. So general advertising and general, businesses out there that promote, whatever product. Like I sell a camera. Hey, let's throw a camera on a billboard. They don't understand crypto. So it's going to be very interesting to see if any of these places get in trouble for promoting scams and not even knowing they're scams. Like, hey, you just want to pay me for a billboard, not knowing that this is, going to, somebody in Nigeria. So Nigeria going to be the third biggest country by 2050.
Nigeria or India?
Nigeria.
Oh, India.
We had that whole conversation yesterday at the gym.
Yeah. We were talking about India, though, a lot, right?
India will be number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. India will, in 2100, the year 2100, India is supposed to have, I think it's 1.7 billion people, something like that. And then I think China is supposed to have like 1.4 billion people.
If you stay on the current trajectory.
Yeah. And Nigeria will have 800 million people. So it's bigger than the United States. By 2050, Nigeria will pass the United States in population size. That's great. The unbanked, right? How many unbanked people you think are in Nigeria?
A lot.
Okay. So that's why we talk a lot about Africa and what Akon is doing over there is you try to you understand why it's important to bring those people into the economy. So not going to get too much into that story. It might be positive for Floki and you, to talk about on the channel. But
Mhm.
we don't support meme coins. We might take a flyer on one personally every blue moon, but Floki and you, why? I say get Floki out of you, not in you. Can you laugh at that?
I did. A little bit.
That
I
was a
gave you a
good
little.
That was a good one. Colorado becomes first U.S. state to accept crypto for tax payments.
That's not true.
I was about to say that's not true. There's been
Wyoming did it first on the state level. They accepted Bitcoin for tax payments. There's been a few states, I thought.
I thought so too.
Texas, I thought maybe.
The
Maybe not.
governor is very bullish on crypto. He was at Eat Denver, and I believe he's a Democrat. I think maybe someone could correct me, and that's good because we've been seeing this narrative of splitting crypto politically. We don't want that. So if that is true, and he is of that persuasion, and he is pro crypto, we need more of that.
Yes.
We need more of that for sure. So maybe I have him on the channel. I should reach out to this guy.
Do it.
He likes Ethereum. So he said it would be getting a payment provider to help facilitate the process. He's very keen on digitizing Colorado's economy. He's a former tech entrepreneur himself, wants to bring blockchain tech. So that's cool. Yada, yada, yada. All right, what else we got here? Elon Musk hints Dogecoin army is pulling out all stops. Oh, there's 2 tabs for this. Hold on. I missed something, I think. Did I miss something? Consensys, Barcelona, UK. That's at 2 tabs. Maybe you just didn't correct it. Then we have XRP update. Let me find that. XRP lawsuit. Attorney says Ripple's defense will receive massive boost if these notes are produced. It is the time of the show where even though I adorn Bitcoin on my body, I represent XRP with my arms. XRP. Throw the X up if you're in the XRP army. Gonna start reaching out to some of those XRP influencers later this week, maybe today even. Try to get, figure out what we can do with that. Maybe have them on the live stream, something like that. So let's see here. What is going on with the case? In another plot twist, Ripple has filed a response to the SEC's opposition to an earlier motion by Ripple seeking the release of the notes from November 9th between Brad Garlinghouse and SEC Commissioner Elad Roisman. And I think, this is what Jeremy Hogan was talking about specifically. The XRP army is so strong. I underrated the XRP army for a long time. Knew they were a little nuts, but they are such a strong community. They show up and they are proud to throw the X up. You got to love that. All right. Let's see. Defense lawyer James Fallon says Ripple's defense could receive a massive boost if these notes are produced. So just to let you guys know kind of what this is the SEC commissioner at the time, Elad Roisman, and Brad Garlinghouse did a meeting where they talked about Ripple and the SEC, the whole 9 yards. We don't know exactly what they talked about because we don't have the notes. This is what they're trying to get. They're trying to get included so we can know what happened in that conversation. Because if the commissioner of the SEC and Brad Garlinghouse have a meeting and there is not one time a mention of, hey, by the way, we're kind of thinking, we know what you're doing. Like, you think this might be a security? I don't know. No, they never raised that. There's a lot of email threads that show that as well. Actually to the contrary, that they were seeming to indicate that it wasn't at the time. So, what this could be is this also could be, one commissioner of one dirty Gary Gensler. And what was the previous commissioner's name? I can picture him in my J something.
J Powell?
No.
Jerome Powell. I can't.
God, it's not Cooper. I want to say Cooper. Somebody I'll put it in here. I could look it up. You could look it up, but it's going to kill me because I really want to. I cannot remember. But anyways, the point is maybe Gary Gensler thinks it might be a security, but back then when these decisions were being made, they didn't seem to care. They didn't seem to raise an issue about it. So, this could also be change in leadership, could be why they're going after them now when it was years and years and years of doing another Clayton, Jay Clayton. I knew it started with a C. Yeah, I feel smart to remember things. Let's see. SEC opposed the motion. Nonetheless, the regulator turned the notes over to Judge Netburn, who is the magistrate judge. So we learned the difference there between her and Annalisa Torres. Annalisa Torres is the real judge, or is the head judge. Let's see here. I had a good time talking to Jeremy and John.
Yeah, that was good.
You got two very different personalities there.
And two very intelligent people as well.
John Deaton is really over the top. He's just got I like the way he talks.
Got pizzazz.
He's got some pizzazz. He got some charisma. And then Jeremy's he's very analytical and he's very studied. And, I mean, what you have to do to become an attorney, I can't imagine. That is, when I was growing up, people would tell me, they'd be like, hey, I think one day you're going to be an attorney. That's got to be the most boring job ever.
So very similar for me. I used to think I wanted to be an attorney too, until I looked at all the schooling, and it's like, okay, you just read and read and read and read and write and write and write. And I was like, nah.
Well, I just remember that Paul Rudd in Clueless was, I think, trained to be a lawyer, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And I was like, all he was doing was reading. I just remember that scene for whatever reason. Cher's dad was a lawyer in Clueless. Great movie in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I just remember at that time being like, that's what being a lawyer is? That kind of sucks, So I don't know. I don't know if being an attorney would be very fun. Maybe if you are. When it's Clerks 3, I don't know if I'm allowed to say when it comes out. I do know it's not this week, so for sure. Okay, moving on here. Ripple seeks to collaborate with Congress on smart crypto regulation. Oh man, they're playing the mom and dad game. You guys know the mom and dad game?
Mm-hmm.
It's where somebody comes to one person and asks them something. They don't get the answer they want, so they go to the other person. You might see this going on around your office sometimes. It's a very common thing. I did this one time at a place where when I was in rehab, I did this to two of the people that ran it. Like, I asked if I could move into this one room or something like that. And then first was like, nah, you're going to be over here. I was like, okay, cool. So then the head guy, I was like, hey, you have a problem with me doing this? And he's like, no. And I said, well, the other guy said, you don't play mom and dad with me. It was very serious. People get really offended at that. I do. Yeah. I get offended at it,
I don't like it.
It's not a good game. If you play the mom and dad game, you need to quit. That's what I say. So it seems like maybe Ripple's playing the mom and dad game here, where they're trying to get involved with Congress. If SEC ain't playing ball with us, let's go try to get Congress on our side. So I want to see some of those senators with some XRP holdings.
Just buy them all.
Buy them all. Cardano and SHIB holders still underwater. There's just quick hits here. Solana price eyes $150. 25% jump this week. Puts double bottom in play. Billionaire Ken Griffin, not to be confused with millionaire Ken Griffey Jr., admits crypto, one of the greatest stories. I'm just reading the headlines. Crypto gaming firm bans Russians to comply with sanctions. 327,000 ETH leaves exchanges. Yeah. Okay. Give me a question, and then you just go do that and come back.
Okay. I'll
still make it quick, but if you gotta go,
we still got to wrap. They were asking Q&A. Well,
we have to wrap.
Yeah, you want to wrap for us?
We have to
wrap up the show. One question was, with all the BTC talk today, can you explain block rewards for some of the noobs and how that incentivizes miners?
Yeah, so block rewards are what the miners earn when they mine Bitcoin. Like the Bitcoin they receive in their wallets is a... All right, he's gone, guys. He went out of the room. Let's talk about what we want to talk about. Just kidding. It's how they earn their money. It's why they mine. That's the incentive. So when you're getting those block rewards, you're receiving a percentage of Bitcoin. Now, for mining one entire block, right now you get 6.25 BTC per block. So if you solved a whole block on your own, which is very rare, most places are doing it in pools and you're getting a cut of it. That's how much you'll get in April-ish of 2024. That number is going to go down all the way down to 3.125 Bitcoin per block. In the early days, you could mine Bitcoin on a laptop and get 50 Bitcoin per block, and you could do it all yourself. I wasn't mining Bitcoin back then. Wish that I was. So that's really kind of how it works. And this is where you talk about incentive to send transactions. there are rewards for sending transactions. There are small fees for sending these transactions. That is what helps the miners, send the transactions and push them, different places. There will still be transaction fees after all the Bitcoin is mined, which would be 2140 will all be dead. So that will be over, but like there will be no block rewards, but there will still be transaction fees. So still incentive for miners to, do their operation. And to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure how Bitcoin mine, like how the transactions, I guess, well, the blocks are the transactions. So there's blocking the transactions together in the block. So there's not separate. Is there a separate?
There's transaction fees and block rewards. The block rewards
and the miners get both.
Correct.
So when the miners do a block, what do they call it? Meant to block.
Solve a block.
Solve a block. Okay, when the miners solve a block, then they're getting the reward for that block, but they're also getting all the transaction fees that are wrapped up in that block.
That is correct.
Oh, okay. Well,
and so once it halves down to basically nothing, the idea would be then the year 2140-ish, like you were talking about, the price of Bitcoin will be so high that the transaction fees will still be enough to incentivize the miners to solve the block.
Yeah. And I see here somebody said Al Gore lost. I don't know what that's in reference to, but Al Gore won. We are all on the internet.
Yeah, he invented the internet.
He did. Thoughts about Blocktopia, Victoria VR. These are both projects that we like. So
yeah, what's your favorite altcoin? I know we've got a lot.
They associate me with XRP now. Like XRP is what, I don't know how this is morphed into that, where that's what I'm known for. Like somebody put a list out about like different influencers and the coins they're attached to. Look, my favorite altcoin's Ethereum. I mean but you could also make the argument Ethereum's not really an altcoin anymore.
For now, it is.
For now, I mean, look, my favorite ones are XRP, Cardano, Polygon's pretty good. I like Polygon pretty well. Chainlink. Yeah, those are probably my I still like Chainlink. I like they partner with everybody. They're like the swingers of crypto. So, all right, guys. Well, that is all we got. I got to go to physical therapy, rehabilitation for my strained calf that I have from jumping rope. So I'm going to go do that. And I guess that's all. We'll see you on Around the Blockchain later today. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And, Joe Biden couldn't have been serious when he said, that we all need to become more unified with all the splitting up that the government does. But, hey, in crypto, we're all here together. Be blessed. Way out.